Hello, people of Earth, this is Dan. This ride is called 4 Passes, 1 Day. I left the house at 6:25 in the morning. The temperature was around 45 degrees Fahrenheit, 7.2 Celsius. By the time I got to the last few miles of the paved road on Kebler Pass, I had to stop to warm my hands. I don't have heated grips on my bike, and I really didn't realize how cold my hands were gonna get. And I have really good motorcycle gloves, but I've got that sorted out for the next run now. I bought a pair of electric gloves, and if they work well, I'm going to use them for skiing too. This is the start of the ride where the road turns to dirt on Kebler. Kebler Road is 31 miles long, and it connects point to point from Crested Butte on the east side to Colorado State Highway 133. This dirt road isn't maintained in the wintertime, and it's closed. This year, this is the first time I've seen this, where they put mag chloride down on the road. Mag chloride is usually used for melting snow and ice in the wintertime, but they also use it to keep the dust down and harden the road on dirt roads, which it appears to be working pretty well on Kebler Pass here. As you can see in this video, the road wasn't as washboardy as it can usually get, but it kind of had a little bit of a guttering effect in the road, and it caused my front wheel to wash out from side to side. It caused me to go a little bit slower than I wanted to, but still it was a very beautiful ride, really nice. My bike isn't made for dirt, even though this road is well maintained. I just had to go a little bit slower than I probably wanted to. There's a little pond there on the left-hand side, and sometimes you can see the moose feeding in the pond, eating whatever it is they eat off the bottom of the pond. You can tell so many aspen trees here on this pass. Kebler Pass has the largest living organism in that the aspen trees are kind of like one organism, and it is the largest living organism in North America. That's absolutely beautiful. There's places where there were a lot of wildflowers, and it was pretty early in the morning. By the time I got on the pass, probably 40 minutes or so into the run. But it really didn't have to deal with the sun issues very much. I thought maybe one direction traveling on McClure would probably have a sun problem, but it didn't turn out to be that. By the time I got over there, the sun was well up in the sky. I didn't have to really worry about it being in my eyes. So, yes, I come down this way. Just the trees here are absolutely gorgeous. On the left-hand side of the road, there's tons of fern grottos, just so green up on the pass when I did this run. In the fall, because of the aspen trees here, it is just outstanding. The 3rd and 4th week in September, in my opinion, you really can't get a much more scenic drive than being on Kebler Pass in the fall. I think the trees are really healthy this year too. A couple years ago we had a really dry summer, but They're looking good this year. So, eventually we'll be coming down to the point where we're going to see a mountain that stands up above the horizon, and that's Mount Marcellina. And actually, the comment that I wanted to make about that is driving from the east side of Kebler to the west side, in my opinion, probably isn't quite as scenic as going the other way, because you really get to take in a full view Mount Marcellina. Going this way, you really don't. But the way the sun was shining here with the trees and everything, it kind of had that strobing effect that you get when you go through trees and it's either early morning sun or late afternoon sun. But I didn't see a whole lot of campers up on the pass. There were a couple here and there. And one guy that maybe looked like he was stranded, but I didn't stop. I was kind of on a mission to get around on my route. At one point in this video, I think coming up here pretty soon, I slow it down to regular time. Hopefully you could see some wildflowers that were in full bloom when I drove the pass. There's so many trails and places to hike up this way. It's if you ever get a chance, you really have to come up and see Kebler. Yeah, here's one spot where the wildflowers were just going crazy. Absolutely everywhere. A couple of years ago, it was last year, we had a super bloom because the snow from the previous year and into the current season, we had a record snowfall over that season, and it caused the super bloom to happen with wildflowers. It was amazing to see the color, the summer color. But yeah, I think we'll be able to see Marcellina coming up here pretty soon. Maybe a few more curves. I normally think it takes around, I'm going to say 45 minutes, maybe an hour to drive the whole pass from Crested Butte to the point where it connects to Colorado State Highway 133 on the west side. But Karen and I are going to drive that pretty soon, so I'll be able to verify that. Yeah, the cars, there was a couple cars that went by me, but it was just because I couldn't go very fast at all because of the long gutter-like ruts in the road. Places I could go maybe 30 miles an hour, but yeah, there goes a car right there. Generally, I could only do about 15 to 20 miles an hour, which is okay. I really wanted to enjoy my time when I was on this ride, and it was worthwhile. There's Marcellina. You can kind of see it back behind the trees on the right a little bit. Yeah, I have another channel that I do, I have my own personal channel, and I have a few videos out there with the fall colors, and definitely Kebler plays a big part in the pictures that I take in the fall. It's because that's just amazing. The reds and yellows, oranges is just awesome. There's Marcellina starting to come into view. And on this ride, for the purposes of this video, I ended the video just on the other side of Mount Marcellina. I didn't want to video the whole of Kebler Pass. At this rate, I had the duration of time sped up on the video probably 300%. I just wanted to give you an idea of what the pass itself looks like, how big it is, and just the sheer beauty of the place up there. Just amazing. Well, really good weather day. I didn't get rained on for the whole trip, and there are very few clouds in the sky. And the only problem that I had was a little bit of cold hands in the morning. Otherwise, I was perfectly fine. My jacket worked well, my motorcycle pants worked well. You really don't get to see that much of Marcelina going east to west, but coming the other way, absolutely do. You can see off on the left-hand side the mountain range over there. The aspens just float all the way down through that valley and up on the other side of that peak on the left-hand side. So kind of on the east side of Marcelina now. We'll be kind of going around the south end of Marcelina, and then I end the video on the west side. That was only the second car that I saw go in my direction the whole morning. On Kebler, anyway. My focus really was to get around this loop in one day. I was prepared to stop if I needed to somewhere to spend the night, but as it turns out, everything worked out perfectly. You know, those trees on the left-hand side. Like I said, the color in the fall around this area in particular, outstanding. By the way, I put timings in the video so you can tell if you want to forward to, you can forward the video ahead to a particular pass. I put all the timings in there for the beginning of each pass. I think the snowmobilers go across Kebler in the winter time. We have done snowmobiling once from the resort. We did a Kebler ride up there, and that was really a lot of fun. We didn't go very far up the pass, so I actually think the people that go the whole way. Yeah, this is coming up on the west side of the pass too. I want to end the video for Kebler. Be pulling into a little rest stop here in a second. Marcelina is on our right-hand side now. Yep, Kebler remains dirt the rest of the way, practically almost the whole way down to CO 133. This is the beginning of McClure Pass here, which is Colorado State Highway 133, and I was going east on this pass, and headed down towards Marble and Redstone, eventually Carbondale. I noticed from this video that the pass doesn't look very steep, but trust me, it really is. There's a pretty good incline if you've ever been on or decline. It's not a very big pass. The west side of the pass is pretty long and sloped, so it's not quite as steep as coming down over the east side in a shorter period of time. Now, once you get to down to the bottom of this pass, it's a great little drive through the Crystal Valley to Redstone and beyond. Karen and I like to go into Marble in the fall and eat at a place over there called Slow Grooving Barbecue. They really have good barbecue. That's such a beautiful place. There's a couple small ponds, and the scenery around there is just fantastic. This is kind of the end of McClure right here. The turn for Marble is coming up. Right around in here somewhere. You'll see a road branching off to the right. And then to go to Marble from there, it's about another 25 miles, something like that. There it is. Okay, so now we're still on Colorado State Highway 133, and we're heading towards Redstone. And riding through the Crystal Valley here, particularly this morning, it was just absolutely stunning. The Crystal River runs on one side of the road, and then it changes over to the other side of the road partway down. Right. You can fly fish in there. I don't think there's a whole lot of fish in there. I've never had really good luck in the Crystal, but it's still a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm not sure the population of the town of Redstone itself. I think something like 50 or less than 50 people. Well, it's a pretty small little town, but really nice. And the valley that it sits in, the peaks around it are pretty high, and the sun doesn't really hit down on the valley until around 9:30 or so in the morning. So it takes a while for it to warm up in the summertime. Yeah, Karen and I like to go to Marble. We also like to go to the Redstone campground and our travel trailer. We usually go over there, spend 4 or 5 days in the camper. Yeah, when you come into the town of Redstone here on the left-hand side, there's these coking ovens that they used to use in the olden days to coke coal that they mined. You can see them in that shot right there. We're coming into town. That's a Redstone Inn on the right-hand side. I stopped here, but I didn't spend very much time in Redstone. I took a couple pictures along the river. Just hopped back on my bike. Lots of nice little houses in this town. One of those communities where I'm sure everybody knows everybody else. Tons of hiking, fishing, stuff you do in the mountains. That's probably, I'm going to say 20, 25 minutes down to Carbondale from here. Carbondale's a much bigger town. Just stopped at the town park here. Long enough, stretch my legs, take a couple pictures, hop back on the bike. I was on my timeline to get around. 4 passes, 1 day. Okay. Shut it off, Dan. There you go. Alright, welcome to Aspen. At this point, I've driven through Carbondale and got on this, I think it's County Road 82. But yeah. Some things that Aspen has now that it never used to have when I was younger. There's a carpool lane and bumper-to-bumper traffic. As a matter of fact, I think that's Snowmass right there. Yeah, I lost about probably 15 to 20 minutes or so in the bumper-to-bumper coming into town. I believe the direction of travel here is kind of south and east. Yep, there's the carpool lane. There's the traffic. The other thing is, I thought maybe I would have stopped at Maroon Bells, but you have to have a reservation now. It goes through the bells. I just kept on going. They have a big sign there before you get to the turn, says you have to make a reservation, but whatever. So this is Independence Pass now. At this point, I'm pretty close to the summit of the pass. So I apologize for there's a bug on my camera lens on the bottom right hand side there, and it kind of stays on the frame almost all the way to the summit. But from Aspen to the top of Independence Pass, you go 4,000 feet in altitude gain. You go from 8,000 feet in Aspen to 12,000 feet at the summit. And you can look back on the right hand side here, down in that valley is where I came from, in the direction of Aspen. It is absolutely gorgeous up here. You can see all the little river down below and the road cutting through the valley down there. It's pretty steep right here. I'm not exactly sure what the drop-off is, but you wouldn't want to go off that side. Yeah, actually Independence Pass is a great ride. And for the most part, it's relatively safe. There's a couple places just outside of Aspen where the road kind of narrows down to almost one lane. You know, if you're in a car or, you know, an RV of any type, you really want to be cautious going through there, but no problem on a bike. We're coming up to the summit here now. We're above the timberline right here too, up in the alpine tundra. I stopped here for probably, I don't know, 15 minutes. They have a scenic overlook that you can walk out to the end. I took a couple pictures off of this overlook. Yeah, it points back to one of the, I think that's La Plata, that peak in the back there. There's a sign that gives you all the attributions for the peaks around there. We're just on the other side of this range right here. That's where Karen and I live, on the other side of that mountain. And this is on the east side of Independence Pass. And actually, for as short as it is on the east side to get down to the bottom, it is just, it seemed like there was more color and, I don't know, just a lot more beauty on this side. Maybe it was the light of the day that I was in, but yeah, really a great ride. Here's the hairpin. Flattens out, goes pretty straight. Take this highway, goes down to an area called Twin Peaks. A little bit further beyond that, it goes down to an area called Twin Lakes. You stay on this highway and it leads down to US 285, also known as Highway 24, which leads down into Buena Vista in that direction. And that's where you pick up the road that goes and eventually turns into Cottonwood Pass, which will be the last of the 4 passes that I traveled that day. So here we are on the east side of Cottonwood Pass. Not too far from the summit. There's several hairpin turns right before you get to the summit. Yeah, if you like hairpins, this is the place for that. I go pretty slow around them. I was surprised at the volume of people that were on the hiking trails up here. There's a whole bunch of cars. Must be a pretty nice hiking trail around there somewhere. I've never been on it, but yeah, that was the busiest place on this pass. The Cottonwood is just a hardly noticeable gain in altitude over the top of Independence. Independence is 12,095 feet, and I think this one it's 12,126. Yeah, CDOT, the Colorado Department of Transportation, just reworked the east side of Cottonwood Pass. They had it closed for 2.5 years, I think it was. Well, they expanded the road. They took out a bunch of hairpins and they paved it. It used to be all dirt on the west side of the Cottonwood Pass, but now it's a really, really nice paved asphalt road. I'll park over there by the bikers. Cottonwood Pass. There it is down the valley, looking towards the Taylor Reservoir in that direction. West side. Starting to come down now. Yeah, for people in the area, I will recommend this ride. It's a lot of fun. The only thing that I've noticed since last year was the first year they had it open after the construction project. But the thing that I noticed from last year to this year was that a lot of the corners and when there's pullouts and little side roads and stuff, there's a lot of gravel that's been brought up on the highway from cars coming out, like right there. And on these tight hairpins like that, or these tighter curves, that could be bad news for motorcycle riders. But still pretty fun nonetheless. If you're aware of that, then you can account for it. Fortunately, I've driven this pass several times, so kind of know where the curves are and things to look out for. But people hauling trailers or whatever, they kind of get off on the side of the road and they drag some of that little rock and gravel up on the road. And that could be pretty bad news. Maybe slow down quite a bit. Not too far from our house. I believe it's probably about an hour from the Taylor Reservoir, maybe less, 45 minutes or so from the Taylor Reservoir down to our house. And it's still quite a ways before we get to Taylor in this video here, and I did not include that in this video. I've done several other videos about Cottonwood Pass on the channel, and you can go check those out if you want. Which includes the first day that they opened the pass after the road construction project. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you got this far, appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Thank you very much. Have a good one. I also wanted to mention that I've also put 3 other videos out there on this very same ride that are 360-degree videos, and the user can control the position of the camera by using their mouse or fingers if you're using the phone app or the tablet. You can actually spin the video around 360 degrees. There's 3 of them out there: Kebler Pass, Independence Pass, and McClure Pass. Actually, that wasn't the right order of those, but there are all 3 out there, 360 videos. You can enjoy those too. Thanks again.